Well, welcome back, everyone. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. That was first time. I've been involved with the Storytellers for quite a while, and the interesting thing, and most people in the audience say this, everybody got the same topic, but everybody comes at it from a little different angle. We have 4 more storytellers for the second half, and they all come at this interesting subject of love from a little different angle. Our next storyteller is Chris Lydic, and Chris is also a veteran storyteller, has been with the SPARK Storytelling from the beginning. This is the 7th story that she will tell here. Chris is a retired elementary school teacher, and fun fact for me was that Chris and I worked together for a number of years at Beloit Elementary in the West Branch system. Chris was first grade teacher, and I had the great honor to be her principal, and she reminded me that she used to invite me frequently to come down and read stories to the kids. So here we are years later telling stories to big kids. So that's a good thing. Chris's fun fact is very interesting. Her husband, Ed, and if you kind of know Ed, this won't surprise you, said that he would marry her, but first she would have to learn how to make her mother's famous bread. So Chris apparently learned how to make that famous bread, because they're married and have been for quite some time. Chris's story is called Something Better, so please welcome Chris Lydic.
My dad's job brought us to this area right after I graduated from high school. And I found a job as a waitress to earn money for college. I eagerly anticipated going to college to become a teacher and to find the man of my dreams. Certainly there would be lots of nice young guys at college, right? I thought so. But that's not how it happened. Exactly 1 week before I started my college classes, a restaurant customer asked me out on a date. We went out to dinner and we played miniature golf. My customer, Ed, arrived right on time. He came to the door and walked me to the pickup truck. He opened the truck door and gave me a dozen red roses, which were waiting on the seat. When we got to the restaurant, he opened the restaurant door and waited for me to walk through. I didn't know anybody ever did that anymore. My brothers never opened the doors for me. So yes, I did meet many, many nice young guys at college. And many of them, or not many, a couple of them asked me out, but my heart was already spoken for. Even though Ed and I had very busy schedules, we made it a point to spend time together. One such occasion happened because Ed received an invitation to a timeshare property. It was only an hour's drive, so he asked me to go along. The timeshare salesman showed us every aspect of that property. The cute little cabins, the weight room, the game room, and the beautiful pool. It was a lovely place. Well, thinking he could close the deal, he looked at me and he said, "Would you deny him something he really wanted?" Well, immediately I said, "No, of course not." Well, thinking he was about to close the deal, he looked at Ed and he said, "Would you deny her something she really wanted?" Ed said, "Yes." My jaw, my heart, and the salesman's confidence dropped to the floor. After a brief pause, Ed said, "Yes, I would deny her something she really wanted if I could give her something better." Oh, talk about falling in love with the guy. On the other hand, the salesman wasn't impressed. He immediately slammed his book closed, told us where to pick up our free gift, which was a very cheap ceiling fan, And he walked out the door without saying, "Thank you for coming," or even goodbye. It was an amazing exit. Ed and I just laughed, and we enjoyed the rest of our day together. Almost over a year later, in the parking lot of the restaurant where we met, Ed asked me to marry him. And since I would be the one wearing the ring, he said I needed to pick it out. So in the jewelry store, I found a simple, beautiful diamond ring. And I told the clerk, "I like this one." Ed said, "No." He said, "The same style, but with a bigger diamond." I said, "Oh." So he said no, and he gave me something better. So 13 years ago, we were at the Mason Lodge installation of officers. The newly installed officers were asked to introduce their guests. Ed's introduction took my breath away. He said, "I'd like to introduce you to my bride of 25 years." Talk about falling in love with the guy all over again. We've been together for 41 years, 3 years dating, 38 married. And yes, he still continues to buy me flowers, or maybe a card, just for no other reason than he was thinking of me. And we still find things to do together. One of our favorite activities is trashy date night. Oh no, it's not what you think. We take the trash dumpster out to the curb to be picked up for the next morning's garbage pickup. I like trashy date night. And then we hold hands as we walk back to the house. While we were dating, Ed did something that not only had a lasting impact, but it provided me with an opportunity to share something better with him. He started coming to church with me. Ed knew if he wanted a relationship with me, he needed to make church a priority, an important part of his life. You see, my dad was a minister, and going to church was not optional. It was mandatory. Even when I worked the third shift on Saturday night from 10 p.m. to 4 or 5 a.m. Sunday morning, I still had to be in church on Sunday morning. So Ed knew that needed to be an important part of his life too. As we attended church together, I became more comfortable sharing my faith with him and with others. And his decision to come to church and my decision to share my faith helped us grow closer together, and it has helped us build a lifelong relationship with Christ. And that's not because we love God, but because God loved us first. And that is definitely something better. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. What a beautiful story.